can go away from you. But perhaps a moment, and an isolated moment. Run-out came and wickets were tumbling Santner Bowl up wide down the lakeside, and you just felt momentum slipping from New Zealand. These are just little moments in a game. But for me, Bangladesh's discipline at the end was vital. At a time when, midway through the New Zealand innings, he certainly felt a score in excess of 300 was on the table. And it really looks now as if Bangladesh are cantering. You'd even use the word in the horse racing terms, trotting to victory in front of their adoring fans. And he really has provided a huge injection in the last 2 overs, and the end is clearly nigh, with Bangladesh needing 10 for victory here. That's a great shot from Mamadullah, clearing the ropes easily. Victory here for Bangladesh, and a rise to 6th in the ODI standings, and it'll be a great fillip for them as they go into the Champions Trophy. And that's the end of the over. 261 for 5, Bangladesh. Probably not a good time to be reintroducing former New Zealand captain Jeremy Coney with his fellow countrymen 10 away from defeat here in a thrilling ODI match. Hosted, I think, wonderfully here. Fantastic atmosphere on the ground here today, Jeremy.
Been a really good day, hasn't it, Alan? I mean, it's felt a bit like kind of Baja, I've got to say, because there's been fantastic support from the Bangladesh people. They've supported their side, the other side of the world, really, and there's plenty of them. They've made their presence felt.
Well, as you say, Jeremy, there's just something wonderful about cricket in Asia. The one singular aspect of it, outside of how they play, is just adoring fans, the noise, the glamour, everything that goes with it. And you can only marvel, as far as I'm concerned, having been to the subcontinent watching cricket, I have to say. I hasten not playing, but it's a wonderful atmosphere to be around a cricket match in.
Be forgotten that they've come back from the dead, Alan, really, because today, for most of that first innings, New Zealand were holding the sway. They were in control, and yet between overs 40 and 44, suddenly 3 wickets went in the New Zealand effort, and in came Warble, in came Mustafis, in came Shakib, and nothing really was given to the New Zealand tail end and Taylor. And they deserve it, and they're hitting everything now. And from that moment onwards, I felt that they have been in charge of this match. New Zealand knew they were under par with the score, they really couldn't find the performance to back it up, and Bangladesh are deserving winners today.
Well, I think it was typified by that wonder delivery by Shakib to Satner, and 3 balls later Monroe going, who absolutely pulverised the Irish attack at the tail end of their innings. But to lose momentum players like that at such a vital time left Ross Taylor really in no position to take the game. He had to manage the tail, and that was very difficult, and I just thought Bangladesh's bowling at the end of the innings was wonderful.
Yeah, well, it will be New Zealand's that trophy from their performance earlier on in this tri-series.
Looks a bit like the Brothers Low cutback from the top end.
Well, we own that.
Own those trophies.
So 48 gone, 266 for 5, and now just 5 runs required from the last 2 overs of this match. It shouldn't be needed. Both these 2 players are now well set. Mahmudullah's come in and just raced away to 42 and backed Mushfiqur up.
Jeremy, whenever I watch Hamish Bennett going back to his mark, I wonder, does he actually ever want to bowl? He lumbers back, but certainly early on did a real decent job for his team. He's probably struggled a little bit in the last few overs.
Yeah, it's a lovely stroke just for a single. It's interesting in terms of time, actually, that he's able to lumber back. And if you rush through your middle overs and keep pushing, you earn a bit of time. In other words, if you're under pressure in the last 10 overs and you're being hit around, time for a captain to change the field, time also for a bowler to think about where I'd bowled. You know, you earn that time by pushing hard in the field, I think, through those middle overs to earn the time later. It's just, I think, quite a useful tactic.
So looking ahead, Jeremy, Champions Trophy, what would you see as New Zealand's best team?
Oh dear, that could be it. Yes, it is. And Mushfiqur celebrates.
And he certainly does celebrate. There's a big fist bump. And boy, do they deserve their victory today. And it certainly seems to mean a lot to Mushfiqur. He's played beautifully out there today, Jeremy. Calm, composure, skill and guile. And backed up wonderfully by Mahmudullah as the crowd, who should really be kept off the playing area and should be nowhere near the teams here. But a great victory for Bangladesh today and a wonderful game, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, congratulations, Bangladesh. 2 experienced players, old heads out there at the crease, and that stroke so much in front of square, onto it so quickly. A good stroke to win the match. And Mahmudullah just gets ahead of Mushfiqur 46, Mushfiqur 45. Both of them at strike rates 100 or over. So it's been a very good partnership of 72 from 62 balls to see their side home.
And certainly too, Jeremy, from an Irish perspective, outside of the disappointment of some of our performances, but to be involved in a series and have a series like this that's been so welcomed by the cricketing public of Ireland, and obviously people, New Zealanders and Bangladesh people within Ireland. Any of the conversations that I've had around the ground have thoroughly enjoyed the series. Obviously it's been disappointing from an Irish perspective, but certainly from Bangladesh's and New Zealand's point of view, they've probably answered a lot of questions for themselves running into the Champions Trophy. And whilst Bangladesh has a settled look about itself, there's certainly huge competition, I would imagine, within the New Zealand camp, and I'd be very interested in your views moving into the Champions Trophy as what you might see as potentially New Zealand's certainly best 11 moving into that particular tournament, because these games come thick and fast, and obviously with players coming back from the IPL, quality players, Williamson in particular on the batting side of things, but a lot to be gained from this series.
Oh, absolutely. 2 more games to go yet. From New Zealand perspective, warm-up games back in England. Yes, we've been able to introduce a few new players. There's been rotation going on, so but players like Broom has had a good series, I think, of 4 matches, and I think also Latham has done quite well. He's grown into the role as a captain a little bit further. I think Ronke's generally started the innings quite quickly. So I think New Zealand's top order, there are questions about the openers, who are they actually going to choose? And then 3, 4, 5 I think are settled. And then you're getting into the difficult questions for selectors about who are going to be, you know, the opener. Is it going to be Ronke or is it going to be Latham? Or are you going to have some all-rounders? So there's the Bangladesh response to New Zealand, chasing 271. They've got there by 5 wickets and just over a half to spare. You can see contributions right from the top. It's Tammim's 6th first ball, and Shabir also 65, and then you saw the experience in the middle order. New Zealand got close. They just needed to push another couple of wickets, and they might have created pressure. It wasn't to be, and so Bangladesh have won this side in the game.
I thought it was quite interesting too. Game changers over the course of this series has been Satner, and he didn't really settle today. And I think in those middle overs, particularly when those little clump of wickets fell, and I thought there was one significant moment after that run out, his next ball was 5 wides, and he just never really settled today, and he's such a pivotal part of this New Zealand team with both bat and ball. And he was undone earlier on by a fantastic delivery by Shakib. And obviously with the ball just never really settled today. I think another interesting point within the New Zealand setup will be the bowler, the type of bowler who's going to take the ball away from the left-hander. Or should I say that, well, I'm kind of thinking in my own mind, I'm sorry, of Sodhi. And again, I just want to give you confirmation of the result. New Zealand batting first, 270 for 8. And in reply, with over to spare, Bangladesh reaching that total with only 5 wickets down. So Bangladesh win the match by 5 wickets.
So let's have a table for this try.